Hello and welcome to Bigfoot Odyssey and a new show tonight called Drawing Bigfoot. Hope everybody's doing all right out there tonight. It's going to be an interesting one. I used to do this over on Hidden Existence, and we brought it over to Bigfoot Odyssey. I'm getting confused now, but the premise is that we have a guest on who's had a close encounter, has seen the face of a Sasquatch. And we've got an amazing artist in tonight who's going to sketch it. And talking about artists, I have to welcome LARRY BATTSON.
Well, thank you.
Odyssey. How are you doing, Larry?
Oh, this has a completely different feeling about it, being in this Odyssey.
It does, doesn't it?
Before I was hidden.
Be on Hidden, yeah. We've done quite a few over there, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, but we're over here now, and it's going to be good. And of course, our guest, people will remember, I'm sure. He's been on a couple of times. He is the creator of Sasquatch Theory, and it is Miguel Ramirez. How you doing, Miguel?
Good.
Good. Thanks for coming on tonight. I know people thought we were going to get someone called Debbie on tonight, but unfortunately, Debbie had to cancel, and thankfully, Miguel stepped in at short notice. So I really appreciate that. So let's crack on with it. Miguel, just take us into your encounter a little bit. You're out in Missouri. We'll hear about, I know you've told it before, but there might be some guys in here tonight who haven't heard it. Give us a brief outline of your encounter, and we'll get into drawing it with Larry.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was out on my property, and I was at the end of the driveway one day, and I was standing there getting ready to check a trail camera, and all of a sudden I heard a whistle to my left, and it was a loud whistle, kind of like what a cattle person would do to get the attention of their cattle or their dog or whatever. And it was really loud. And then all of a sudden, about 2 or 3 seconds later, one happened right in front of me, and then another one 2 or 3 seconds later to my right. So I'd just been walking through the woods in that area, and I knew, nobody was in there. So I was kind of freaked out by that and didn't really think much of it. But I started learning that, Sasquatches do that. So I was more intrigued, and I kind of started going out on the property more. I started bringing my camcorder in hopes to film something, but I never really got anything when I had the camera, and I don't know, it was just really tough. But I experienced things like whoops and, bluff charges, what it sounded like to me. And I could never really get anything on camera because that kind of stuff would happen at nighttime. And I got night vision, but it only records like 3 to 5 feet away, or, if there's some sunlight. But other than that, I just kept going out on the property. So I eventually gave up bringing out the camera. Well, one day I was out there looking for mushrooms, or just looking for any deer sign, or checking the cameras, just getting out, enjoying the wildlife and the outdoors. Well, I was on my way back to the house from the driveway, and I would say I was probably about, 50 yards from the driveway. And I looked to my left, and it was just, the woods looked normal. I could see shadows and, the green trees. It was summertime in July, so the vegetation on the trees was pretty thick. But, nothing seemed out of the normal. Well, as I was walking back, I heard like a twig snap or something ruffle in the leaves. Well, all of a sudden, this black mass to my left, probably about 30 or 40 yards, just stood up, and it looked at me and started walking away. And the manner of it was exactly like the Patterson-Gimlin film, except this creature looked different. It was jet black, and it had more of a round head, and the eyes were not super huge like some people say, but they were smaller, like, bigger than a human's eyes, but that kind of shape, and they were jet black. I remember that. The eyes were completely black. The nose.
Let's hold it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's going straight for the drawing pad.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a moment. Takes me to tune this sucker in.
Yeah, okay. You're spot on there. You're pretty good there. Might just need a little bit of light. A little bit more light. This was in hi Jeff. This was in Missouri, wasn't it? That's where you are.
Okay, we'll stop at the top of it. Well, what was the shape of the top of the head, Miguel?
Like a round shape, like a football helmet almost, but not as wide. More like human skull shaped.
Okay.
I just can't see the top where you're drawing now. That's just slightly out, Larry.
Oh. Wow.
Maybe down a tiny little bit more. You're almost there. There you go.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I didn't think it was right.
That's all right.
Hold on.
It's okay.
Oh, hold on here.
We're holding.
You know, if I really was a smart guy, which I'm not, I'd have 2 cameras.
I thought you did have another camera. Maybe next time we'll work on it.
Oh, you wouldn't say that.
That's not that. You're spot on there. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so is that close?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Did it have a brow?
Yeah, had the brow ridge.
How far down? I want to move my pencil. How far down did the brow ridge start? If you can remember, there we go. Tell me when to stop.
It's lagging there a little bit.
Up there?
It's
go
lagging.
up a little bit.
Just
yeah,
go up
actually, yeah, right about where you were at.
That'd be the top of the brow ridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you got a slight delay, Miguel?
Yeah, there was a slight delay there.
Okay, there's a slight delay, Larry.
It's good now, though.
Okay, good.
Would you say that the brow ridge is thick?
Yeah, it had a thick brow ridge.
Okay, I want to do that with my pencil again. Just follow me down when you tell me about how thick it was.
There's a slight okay.
About right there?
Yeah,
good?
right about there.
Okay. I want to emphasize anything that I do that isn't right, be sure to tell me. You won't offend me because we want to get this as close as possible. Was the brow ridge, was it straight across or was it slightly curved?
It was slightly curved. Just slightly.
Would it extend to the sides of the head?
Yeah. A lot of what I saw was a side profile. Only the moments when he looked over at me, which was like 2 or 3 times.
Which I assume you'll remember that the best. When he was looking dead at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good example, that'd be the Patterson film. You know, the most talked about time is when he looked at Bob and Roger.
Yeah, that moment.
Yeah, that's
when the eyes
film. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you said the eyes were not really big. How would you describe again, please?
Like the size of a human's eye, to proportion to their body size.
Okay.
And it would be the same with the Sasquatch. Just he's about 6.5, 7 feet tall. So.
Okay. So.
But they were jet black.
Oh, the eyes were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They had this shine to them, kind of like a bull.
Let's try and get the shape of him. So you think They looked big though, did they to you? I mean, they didn't look like human eyes. They looked bigger, did they?
Yeah, just that same type of shape.
Same shape, but bigger. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How wide was the top of the nose?
Can you repeat that again?
How wide was the top of the nose? Right below the brow ridge.
It wasn't a very wide nose. It was more tapered to its face. So it wasn't like a real fat nose. It was more like I don't know. It was almost like its face kind of resembled like a skull, or like the Hulk or Mike Tyson, just like that flat nose.
Okay, are the size of the eyes accurate?
Maybe a little bit further apart, just a little bit further. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about Larry. You can always rub it out. You know, if it's not right, we won't mind.
You mean Miguel?
What did I say?
He said, Larry, you won't mind.
Oh, sorry.
Had me going from there.
At least somebody's on it.
And like the shape of the eyes, like since it was mad looking, like it almost looked like it was squinting a little bit. So they weren't like big and wide open. They're more, like mad, angry looking.
Okay. Thank you. That's
like evil, pretty evil looking. I mean,
we can do evil.
Okay.
Was it surprised you saw it look, or was it something else, do you think?
Yeah, it seemed pretty surprised. It seemed pretty shocked. But,
okay.
Yeah, more like that.
Like that?
Uh-huh. Okay. But more oval on the bottom, like how it is on the top of the eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that.
What color was it? The fur on this one, the hair.
It was jet black.
Just black, right? Okay, got you.
Mm-hmm. It had some white coloration to it, but that was on the back, on its body and stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
How are the eyes?
Yeah, that's pretty close.
What did you change? You said pretty close. What could I change to make it real close?
Kind of like how they're tilted down like this. Maybe if they're more like that.
Hang on,
right.
let me get have a look now at the screen, Larry, and Miguel can show you what he means.
Can you see me now? Do I need it? Okay. So the eyes are kind of like slanted like this. Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm. If they could be more like up. Sorry, I can't get this right. More up like that instead of like that.
So on an angle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like that?
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now the nose.
Okay. It had kind of like a flat crush nose, but it wasn't like a fatter nose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from that side profile, like I said, that was the main view I got.
Right.
It was like a human skull, you know, like how it has like no nose.
Right.
It was kind of like that, or like the Hulk, you know.
Kind of dented in.
Yeah, not a huge nose. Yeah, dented in. And Mike Tyson's nose is like a pretty good description, only it's a little bit more round and flattened. This one's more, I don't know.
Let's get the length of the nose here real quick. I'm going to start from right here at the top of the brow and then go straight down.
Right about there.
Large nostrils.
Actually, go down a centimeter if you could. Sorry, that's my bad.
Out here?
Yeah, like, uh-huh.
Okay, so did it have large nostrils?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like the flat that you would see on a gorilla. But like I said, it was more, I don't know, like the way it tapered off was more triangular than round and really flat, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Are we close?
Well, the nose is really wide to where it should be like more, I don't know, kind of like an arrowhead almost. Like that almost.
Wider than this?
No, not wider than that. Kind of like
more pointy in the end.
Yeah, more pointy at the end, and not
okay.
like flared nostrils. It was more, I guess that's hard to describe for me.
It's not easy.
Kind of like a smushed triangular nose, but it's not like a fatter or like gorilla nose.
So is that too wide? Hang on.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't think I gave a good description, but somehow he understood what I was saying.
Yeah, you have a great description.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. Okay, it's upper lip. Let's try that again. I'm gonna just go from where the nose is here.
So the distance from the bottom of the nose to the top of the lip.
Yeah, here we go.
Probably about 2 or 3 inches.
Tell him when to stop.
Right about there.
Okay. Well, when he looked at you, what was his mouth doing? I mean, what kind of was it closed? Was it open? Did you see teeth?
It was closed, and no, he didn't make any movement with his mouth. You know, he had pretty much the same blank stare the whole time, but he had just the longer, thin lips. And I guess it could be lower than that, probably about a centimeter. Figured I'd tell you before you started.
Right there?
Yeah.
Farther?
Maybe a little bit further down, just a little bit. There was a pretty good distance from the nose to the line of its lips.
Okay.
I was gonna say it's quite a wide gap, that, isn't it? But then what do I know? I've never. Actually, we've had quite a wide gap from the nose to the mouth.
And like I said, the look was angry. So Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Now, I was afraid of this. Well, how would you describe his chin?
Like, kind of like sunken in. Like the skull, the human skull, again. Just, I don't know, thinner, I guess you could say. Kind of like Spawn or the Hulk, something like that.
Was it a square chin, or was it round? Did you say?
Kind of like my chin, but a little bit more triangular.
Okay. How far down should we go?
Triangular. Probably right about there.
Okay.
Like that,
Mm-hmm.
or wider,
Like that.
like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Could you see ears?
No.
Okay. Good.
It's funny because someone commented on my video, one of your drawings on Hidden Existence, saying that he'd noticed they hadn't seen any ears on these things, and I'm not sure there's something that we ask about, are they, or maybe notice?
Yeah. Most animals have huge ears. That's good, but like I said, the cheek is more like sunken in. More.
The cheek is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were the eyes sunken in?
No. When I say sunken in, like the Hulk is the best description for that on the cheek and the chin.
Okay.
That doesn't help me.
I'm gonna get a Hulk image for you, just to give you an
Kinda
idea.
Like how you have that the cheekbone, and like it's really straight from there down.
Oh.
And it's a really angry looking face. The way Hulk looks angry, and it has the cheekbone. He kind of looks like a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's almost the exact same build. Just this thing wasn't.
Okay,
Its head wasn't.
How's that side look now?
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Okay. What can I make it better?
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. I've got an image here of the Hulk, and we'll see if this. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, sorry. Just give me a second. For some reason, it's not.
So I guess you got the right outline. Mm-hmm. Just the distance of the head outline needs to be a little bit further from the brow ridge, edge to edge. It needs to be like an inch there, or like a centimeter maybe. Mm-hmm.
It won't let me take this image.
That's okay. We'll live with that.
You're very close. When I'm looking at it, I can see exactly what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's way better like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, WV Proud. Appreciate that.
What do you think,
if
Miguel?
You could, the left cheek, make it a little bit tapered off, kind of like the right one. Yeah.
Mummy, thank you so much.
Like that.
Yeah. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention real quick on the nose is like the top nostrils that are going like that, not the inner nostrils. Those weren't as visible.
Yeah. Okay.
They kind of blended
These
in
up
with
here?
the face. Yeah, they kind of blended in with the face, so maybe that's why it seemed like, you know, it resembled like an arrowhead kind of upside down.
Gotcha.
But not as pointy, just not a gorilla big nose. It's like what you're drawing mixed with like a human nose, but it's really close. Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So like when the fur comes in, it'll come together.
It can take a while to tweak these sometimes, but it's really worth it, you know, to get it spot on as you can.
Yeah.
It's just great to see the different variations of these things. All look kind of similar, but, you know, different.
Now, you said that the eyes were solid black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like a Brahma bull or just like a jet black bull.
You saw no white in the eye at all?
No white at all.
Okay.
I mean, they were ink black. They had like a glass shine to them almost.
Okay.
And what did you
like
say?
I said,
oh, go on.
the eyes, that squinty eye look, like that squinty, angry look. Sorry.
Okay.
I got to say, even right now, it feels like I'm staring, you know, into the face of what I saw. It already looks like it. You're doing a good job.
That's good. It's a
Thank you.
These, yeah. I mean, Larry, we've done a few of these, haven't we? And they've kind of been quite as interesting process, hasn't it, for people? Talking about it to then seeing it on paper can really take them back and can be quite emotional for some people. I'm not saying it will be for you, Miguel, but for quite a few people, it's there's just something about it being there in black and white.
Well, Carl Gautreaux got he was on my podcast, just an interview, and you know he got pretty worked up when we were doing it, and now he's decided it's helped him.
Yes, that's right.
Because he got so much so he didn't even want the picture when it was done. He said, "You can just bun that, or you can bed it. I don't care what you do with it." So what do you think, Miguel?
Yeah. I mean, it would be even darker than that, but yeah, I like the way you left the shine in there.
There has to be a little bit, doesn't there? I'll give it something.
And if you could connect the bottom oval with the inner eye part. I don't know. I guess you can't see what I'm pointing at. If I knew the human anatomy better, it'd be easier. Body parts.
Do you
I
want to
don't
show
know it
him?
at all, so.
Do you want to show him something? Or
No, that's right. He's
that's
on the right
okay.
track. Yep.
Okay, good. And for anyone who hasn't watched it before, this is just the first part. Larry will really transform this drawing into an incredible piece by the time he's finished.
Now you put on some damn pressure on me.
I'm sorry about that. I know you like a bit of pressure.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Miguel? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it right there.
Well, let's do the other one.
Yeah, if I got quiet there, it's because that definitely brought back like a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
I had to look down for a second. I guess I've thought about it for so long and kept trying to picture it in my mind so I wouldn't forget. And I've done that for so long, and if wanted somebody to draw something up, so just it's a dream come true, really.
You haven't really had much notice for this. Literally, our other guest messaged me like 2 or 3 hours before the show to say she couldn't make it. And normally, as when we were doing this on Hidden Existence, I was pre-warning people, the guests, beforehand, because I'd realised the effect that it was having on people, and maybe just to give them a heads up that you might just get a little bit affected by seeing it. But you find it hard to imagine, but actually that's exactly what's happened to people, and like just to yourself now, it will, you're going to see that face again.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second.
I don't think he will, Ruger.
Do you want me to continue on with the story, or no? I guess you told me to stop right there.
Well, you can tell us a little bit as I think he's probably sharpening up his pencils.
Okay, but yeah, I just wanted to mention the whole time he was right there, and I didn't even notice him. He was crouched down, and he just blended in with the rest of the forest, just kind of like a black object or a shadow.
Wow.
Well, once the sun goes down, they're invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And the person, which I won't take credit for saying this, but the person that says is they share the force during the day and they own it at night is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And actually, this was in the middle of the day, and it was in the summer, but there was so much vegetation and forest there that it was dark, like when clouds cover up the sun.
Yeah.
Those shady spots, it was just so dark looking into there, just with all the black oak trees and I don't know, all the different browns and colors. He just blended in so well.
So cross-eyed.
We've got Jeff in tonight in the chat. Hi, Jeff. Jeff's coming on next week. He has an incredible encounter. They're going to take us through, and I just know we're going to get a great result with Larry sketching it.
So I guess my point that I was making earlier is they can be right around you. You won't even know it. And he made no noise when he walked off. I mean, none.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'd distracted then. Yeah, it's right. It's true, isn't it? That one, you can hear this, like you say, these bluff charges, like a herd of elephant. Maybe he's coming through the bush, and then they can just step out in front of you, and you would have no idea they'd even. Or, I mean, maybe they sit for long periods of times in trees. I don't know. I'm just suggesting it, but maybe they hang around a lot in trees, just sit and observe, and just drop down quietly when you're not looking. Who knows? But yeah, they can be so silent.
Yeah, a lot of people report that thump sound, that loud thump. It's maybe them jumping down from the tree. I've heard that in the comments. Could be.
Well, I sometimes think this about tracks, that has to be some sort of pressure to create a track, not necessarily just the weight of them, but you find sometimes they're pushed up at the toes, and I think that's from when them jumping down from something maybe and creating more of an imprint.
In my case, I only find one track.
Well, so, you know, possible, isn't it?
Well, I think their foot's kind of, if you want to look for an easy comparison, is the Native Americans could move through the forest with no noise on their moccasins or their nose. Or they're, the Bigfoot, big flat-footed animal.
I mean, if they're hunters, if they have to sneak up on things, they'll be well practiced, won't they, in their own environment of what to step on, when to step on it, and definitely what not to step on. So,
I think Mark Zasky's got some footage of that on Crypto Reality. When he was back on YouTube, I could see in his videos these things are moving extremely fast, and just some of the things that he explained is what I experienced when I was out there at that time, and I was watching Crypto Reality at the time. So, I fully believe everything he's saying and the research that he does.
Well, there's so many, people experiencing the same thing as well, isn't there? There's just too many accounts.
How are the eyes?
Those are dead on. Dead on. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna go up to the brow. Was it protruding a lot? Would there be? How did I say this? I mean, when you said you saw from the side, it looked flat faced. Would that include the brow?
The brow ridge had like wrinkles, like he was mad, so you could like see the wrinkles, but it wasn't like too fat of a brow ridge, but it was there. It was defined. I don't know if that answers your question. Like you said,
is this the right width of it that I've drawn, or is it thinner?
Just like, no, that's right. That's right.
Okay.
But like you mentioned it earlier, like it kind of V'd down in the center.
Okay. Like this.
Because I guess his frustrated expression kind of like pulled it down. I don't know how to explain it.
You explained it.
You just got that long brow ridge, and in the center it V's down, I guess.
You explained it fine.
Okay. Because I didn't know what else I was going to say.
Those eyes do look a bit menacing, don't they?
They do.
Just wanted to say thanks again to Long Island Bigfoot, Mike. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Mike.
Harold Oliver, you don't find Bigfoot, they find you if they want to. That seems to be true, doesn't it? There's not many people going out finding them.
Yeah, they'll come to you. when they want to. And that's what had me wondering is how long have they been watching me?
Yeah. It's right on your property, did you say?
Yeah. And I'm only like 5 minutes from town, but it's still heavy forest.
So what do you pick up on your cameras then if you don't pick them up? What do you have the cameras out for? Is it to deter them or to pick up other stuff?
I try tracking down mature whitetail bucks every year, and I put out the cameras in certain areas where they travel at, certain funnel areas and certain bedding areas. So that's the main reason, really. And I mean, anything weird, maybe I'll get a big cat or a mountain lion or a bobcat, anything really.
Yeah, I'm in a group on Facebook, Trail Cam Therapy, and just amazing images people are capturing. And we just don't have that sort of wildlife over here, but some of the images are so beautiful. The young, with the mothers, the parents, different stuff.
Yeah. In this new documentary that I'm working on, I set out probably 11 cameras on the current river property or the current river conservation area here in Missouri. Well, this is on David's farm, but it butts up to it, so it's surrounded by the current river conservation area. And I'll say it on your show, we got some good stuff on the trail camera, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get a link now to your channel. Just give me a second. So I'm sure everyone here knows Miguel Sasquatch Theory, but I've just put a link to his channel in the chat there. Go and check him out. Obviously not now. Do it after the show. And there'll be a link in the description as well. So
yeah, I appreciate it.
Go and check out. Got some good documentaries on there. Are you going to be doing some live shows, maybe interviews on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm looking into doing all that.
Yeah.
Okay, how's the Broward's look?
Okay, I like it, but is it going to be more meshed in with the head once it's done?
What do you mean?
Like not as I don't know how to explain it. Not as defined, I guess. Not as defined.
All right. Yeah, it will be.
It'll blend in.
Okay, yeah. That's the word. Will it blend in? Sorry, I'm nervous.
It's okay. It's just a process. It's just, layer by layer. So it'll look, I'm sure we'll get there.
That's one reason I don't do live chats. I'm not a good speaker. I don't think so.
I think that just comes with time, and practice. I don't talk that much. I should probably talk a bit more. I'm a good listener, though. But yeah, I think it just comes with practice. You get to talk more. I got quite a few people in the chat tonight. And of course, Jeff, who is going to be coming on next week.
He may have changed his mind by now.
I don't think he has. I hope not. It's true, Connor. I'm a great listener.
Okay. Now that nose. So the nostrils.
Okay, right there where you got your pencil.
Yes.
That should be in a few millimeters.
Okay.
So not that wide. Yeah, like that.
Same as the other side.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge nose, and it was flat and kind of pointy. kind of pointy. I don't know, maybe Native American kind of.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually walked to that spot before I came on the show and kind of just stood there and looked around and tried to picture it the best I could.
Mm. How many times have you had activity at that spot?
A lot.
Right.
And this year, not very much. And it's the strangest thing because when they're around, there's always mushrooms. And this year, there's hardly any mushrooms at all.
Right.
And they weren't around. I mean, there wasn't really activity. I find structures, but that's not very often.
Mm-hmm.
But the year before that, man, it was like every month, or at least a couple times a month. They'd mainly come at nighttime. You could hear them stomping around, and then you'd go there where you heard that, and you'd see these new structures, or I don't know, just strange whoops. Kind of the whoop that Carrie Arnold described.
Yeah.
That loud whoop, like really loud and long and drawn out. But I mean, it was loud. It scared me so bad. I was out there hunting last October at the creek bottom, and one did that, and it freaked me out. I packed my stuff up and left, and it was only like 4 p.m.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't stop you though, does it? I mean, you're quite hardcore. You'll still go out, won't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about it, and I was like, man, me and my brothers played in those woods since I was a little kid. I've hunted, and I haven't been hurt. So I should be okay. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, which maybe is, a good way to look at it. Obviously, and you're aware of them as well. So you don't want any conflict, do you?
No.
So it's not like you're going to put yourself in danger.
What helped me was, I mean, people are going to hate it, but was watching Finding Bigfoot and listening to Sasquatch Chronicles and just the weird shows that were out on, I think, like Animal Planet stuff. But I mean, as weird as they were, like Finding Bigfoot, they talked about the wood knocks. They talked about Bigfoot, which was something nobody was talking about. So I was aware of it when I experienced the activity, but I was still like, no way, it's not possible.
Yeah.
But of course, groups now are a lot better, and Sasquatch Chronicles is still the same. They're still rocking and doing great.
Yeah. There's some great encounters on there. But it is good, isn't it, that there's stuff out there, like you say. Unless you hear about it, how do you make sense of what's going on? You could have been like Kerry, could have gone for he did, went for years probably, and they were just making noises all around him and not putting 2 and 2 together. Why would you? How's that nose looking?
Yeah,
that's looking quite.
How's the nose?
That's awesome. Really good. And the only thing you really got to add to it when you start finishing up is like wrinkles at the top.
Up here?
Like where it comes down from the eye, the tips of the eyes down to the nostril, kind of like some wrinkles to match it up to the nostrils. But yeah, that's about dead on, man.
I don't know why this sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is. When I was a kid, there was a show about a Yeti killing people at a ski resort. It scared me big time. Anybody remember what that was? Oh. Mike Singletary, 1977 Snow Beast. Kind of rings a bell.
Is that wrinkle accurate?
Yeah. I guess I'm trying to. It's close. Let me think of a good way to describe this. So right now you got them going like left to right. I don't know. In my mind, they seem to be more up to down, like up to down instead of like that.
Oh,
thanks, Danielle.
Yeah, I'm with
you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lynn M asks, are you afraid they will come in closer to your home?
I had been before, just because they'd banged on the house a few times. And when they did that, I had no idea what that was. I thought that was paranormal activity. And then, of course, with the stories that are out there, I realized they slap on people's houses or cabins. So, and it was loud too. And it was where I was at in the house where they would slap at. So they knew where I was at within the home.
Wow.
Which is frightening.
Yeah. Crazy. I wonder what they're picking up on to do that. Richard Farabee says, have you had any smells? Have you smelt any smells?
Yeah, I've smelled some weird things. I don't know if it's Bigfoot, but I don't know the best way I can describe it. It smells like stale urine with vinegar and kind of skunky. So I don't know if that's like a fox in heat or if that's them. Yeah, you're doing good, Larry. Yeah, like that.
What should be thicker, Anna? We're missing something. Right, let's get Larry. Let's get this. Oh yeah, I can see that now.
You talk about the beating on the houses. I have a friend in Ohio that had a fellow that lived behind him in a trailer. And one morning about 4 a.m., it's raining like heck. And he comes running up to the house in his underwear, soaking wet, beating on his house, saying, let me in, let me in. They're beating on my trailer.
Oh, man.
I thought I about died. He told me the story. I thought, that's funny.
Yeah. I bet that'd be loud if you were in a trailer and they hit it. It'd almost rock it or tip it over.
Well, he lost the relationship because his girlfriend was sitting at the kitchen table, and she could hear it breathing outside the window right there over by her head. So she was done with him.
They must be very sensitive to wherever they are. I mean, I can't remember who I was talking to the other night, but when you hear about them going around people's trucks or cars, they never seem to knock a wing mirror off, which if you were a big kind of bulky animal, you might just easily knock something without even thinking about it. But they never seem to break anything around cars, do they? Not that I've heard of anyway. Or anything that they touch or pick up. They seem to be quite sensitive or delicate with stuff, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very picky about what they take from my gifting site.
What have you got on there? What do you offer?
I put down some smooth rocks that I found in an area where I was looking for arrowheads, and they'd move them around. And then I had some rocks that I got from Stanton, Missouri at it's called the Merrimack Caverns, and they have like these shiny rocks you can pan. And I put those out there, and I put them in a big circle, and I made a cross. And I'd go back, and they're all moved around and in a different order.
Mm-hmm.
Or another time, I put out, this was recent, I put out 2 peanut butter jars, and it was right before it got dark. So it was like 8:30 in the summer. And I went back as soon as the sun came up the next morning, and both peanut butter jars were gone, but the lids were sitting right there. But wow. I tightened those lids, and I mean, they were tight.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't see a raccoon doing that, but people tell me it's raccoon, but those are people that don't believe in Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, the cheeks.
Okay. So you got a really good start right there. So these kind of like are poked out. They're like bony cheeks.
Okay.
And the center cheek is kind of like sunken in a little bit, and there's like that space. I don't know how to explain it.
Like hollowed.
Mm-hmm. If you see me moving around, it's because I'm trying to look at it at different angles. It's not changing anything, but.
What color was the skin? Shark skin.
There wasn't any skin because it was fully covered, and it was, all jet black. But the face, like the fur on the face, did have like this charcoal look. I mean, exactly like he's drawing it. So I don't know. Like the top of the head was jet black for sure, but like where he's drawing right now, and the inner cheeks and the lip structure, all that was like a charcoal gray color. But it wasn't separated from the top of the head that was jet black. It all kind of meshed together, if that makes sense. They just blended in.
You hear a lot of them are kind of a grey colour. What about you, Larry? Do you hear about different coloured skin?
Yeah. That's well, they're highly developed species, so they're like us. No two look the same. Or we just do one of these shows, we'd be done.
Yeah, it's like a cat litter or a possum litter. They're all different.
Yeah, that's right.
But we don't. I mean, they could be mottled. Like dogs have mottled bellies sometimes, don't they? I mean,
they do have mottled bellies sometimes.
Yeah. You see, they could be mottled. We don't know, do we?
My dog's mottled.
What gets me is the juvenile I saw looked completely different than this one. The eyes were completely different. The entire shape of its body and skull, everything other than the fur, was, I don't know. I don't know if maybe they're different family groups or if they just put out that many different types. It's hard to say.
How's that cheek?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Did you notice any blemishes or patchy hair? You said there was some like a white
on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the back it had 2 white stripes going down from one from the shoulder blade and then down right above its butt, and then the same thing on the other side going down from its shoulder blade down to its butt, and it looked like a skunk almost the way it tapered down. And then on the back of its calves it had 2 white patches, but the white fur was kind of like a whitish gray.
Right.
And I don't know, it's just strange that something like that can blend in so well.
I guess it's where you're looking, isn't it, as well? Just what people don't notice, what we don't notice when we're just walking around. We're really not seeing through things, are we? We sometimes just look on the surface and don't look at anything past. So I think it's quite easy to have something colourful or coloured and you not notice it. You could easily walk past it. It's just how observant.
Yeah.
Well, just think about the end of Harry and the Hendersons, the last scene, where he walks in the forest and all of a sudden there's 6 of them.
I haven't seen that actually, Larry.
You haven't seen Harry and the Hendersons?
No.
Oh my God.
I've led a sheltered life.
Okay, Larry.
Yeah.
Real quick on the cheekbone. I don't know if you can throw me in real quick, Daniela.
Yeah.
So they seem to be like right there.
Yeah.
If they could be a little bit more centered, and instead of being ovaled out like that, more inward on the cheeks or on the high cheekbone structure. I guess where you started was good. It just needed to go over a little bit.
Okay.
I know what you mean when you're talking about the Hulk now. It's looking like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's starting to really come together.
More like that.
Hang on, let me think real quick.
I will. I'll check
Okay.
it out. Yeah.
So instead of being like rounded, it's like a little bit more like a rounded off triangular almost look to it. I'm sorry. I should have said that in the beginning, but now that I see it, I'm correcting myself.
It's like the hollows of the eyes, I guess. It's following the hollow of the eye. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this?
But then again, like more where it drops off and tapers down should be more to the left, towards the center of the cheek.
So coming inwards more than sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess
it's not, is it? Why don't you do it on your face? Show us on your face what you mean.
Okay, so like right there, you got it like almost on this side.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be more centered, like here, like where it tapers down, the very center of where it rounds off needs to be more centered. Or, sorry, this way. So it's everything's opposite on camera.
Yeah, it's not on the side. Then it's more under.
Yeah, it's not on the side. It's more centered, just like that, instead of over here.
Like that.
I think you need to come in more, Larry. More under the eye, than on the side, if you will.
Yeah, more following the eye structure.
Like that. Can you see what I just did?
Okay. So where you started at was right.
Okay.
Where you originally started at from the side of the head.
Okay.
But where the center of that oval is where the center of the oval should have been on the original one you did.
So start at the side of the eye and come in. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess like a bigger U, a bigger horse shape.
Not so close to the side.
No, it should be close to the side. Just go more towards the eye. Just a bigger version of what you did.
Oh.
More centered with the eye and the cheek, where it rounds off. It should be centered with the pupil of the eye and the center of the high cheekbone.
How's that?
Yeah, that's closer.
Okay, what would you change of that?
All right. I mean, maybe you're drawing it originally better than what I could describe it, because it was coming together originally, I guess. See how you got it on the left side?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a moon shape. It should be more like that and centered with the cheek, if that makes sense. And I mean, you almost got it on the right side. It just doesn't come over far enough. Okay, so instead of going up right there, kind of go more. Now start going to the corner of the inside eye. You're still going up, but it's just going. Okay, so a little bit more up. Yeah, into like that triangle shaped dark shadow you got right there between the nose and the
into the
eye. Yep. If you shade that in, it should be right. I can't fully say now because it's just a line, but I'm
More like
confident it'll
that.
come together.
Yeah.
Mhm. Now you've done more Bigfoot drawings and, like this Neanderthal face type structure, so you could be more right than I am.
I doubt it.
When it's shaded in as well, it'll come together a lot more.
Mhm. But yeah, that looks right as far as the proportion of it all.
Hi, Jean. Glad you made it. 7 Pearls as well. How are you doing? Is that looking a bit better now with the shade? Is that giving it a bit more?
Yeah.
Hi, Judy.
But like I said earlier, you did have it right when you had it connected to the side of the head. Like that was right.
Yeah. Okay.
CD Squatcher, it's true. Larry is patient, and it is quite difficult to describe a face to someone. Sometimes it's gone really easy, hasn't it, Larry? With some of the ones we've done, and we've got to some areas where it just takes a little bit of time to get it right. But once they do, it all comes together.
Yeah, and Larry does a great job at grasping what you're saying, and he's a really good artist.
Definitely. 7 Pearl asked, was there any hair on the cheeks, on the face? What areas of the face was the hair?
Yeah, it was fully covered in hair. Just on the actual face was more like a lighter gray charcoal color.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's no skin.
Okay. So does that look good? I mean, is that?
Yeah, that's pretty well dead on.
God, I love those 2 words. Okay. So let's do that mouth, and then I'll. So is the shape of the mouth, was the mouth wide like that?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Maybe it's maybe a little bit too wide on the left side, but the right side seems to be pretty good.
Okay.
And the best description I can give is the thin lips and angry. I don't know how to make lips look angry, but I guess it comes together when you draw the whole face. But I mean, it looks pretty angry right now. I mean, not angry, but don't look happy. And this is the hardest part for me to describe, I'll tell you right now, is the lips.
They were thin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where did you put this one at, as an adult or a juvenile? What was your feeling?
I think it was an adult. And like I said, it had the wrinkles. Well, I guess I didn't say it in this story, but in Bigfoot Odyssey I did. It had the wrinkles on the forehead and around its eyes, and like how he drew it on the nose. And
it had wrinkles around the eyes?
Yeah. On the far left and right side. Connecting to the sides of the head. Yeah. But no, yeah, the lips, they're really good. They're not like human, like where you see a lot of lips, but they're real thin. Yeah. Wow.
I
don't know how to describe that, but that's right.
These are, I'm just going to put up, these are some of the ones that Larry's drawn on the previous shows that we've done over on Hidden Existence. They're all there if you want to go and watch them. That was Kerry Arnold's the one on the down the left-hand side. And yeah, all of them are over there. Go and check them out. There've been some fascinating ones. And just the process of it has been pretty amazing to watch. I quite find it quite mesmerizing watching Larry draw.
Yeah, this is the most excited I've been in like 3 years. And I'm not just saying that.
Right.
This is awesome.
Excellent. Good. What's the max size? 8, 9 foot, 600 pounds or more? I think he's asking you, what do you think the biggest thing is that you've seen? And
here, I think the biggest ones are like 7 to 8 feet tall. Now I go 20 minutes to a different area. I'm finding structures that are just giant. And I mean, these are full-size pine trees that have either been ripped out of the ground or formed into structures. And I think they're a lot bigger there.
Yeah, I think we're talking about Sasquatch here. Because he's asked about weight. What did you think this was? 10 foot though, did you?
Oh, the one that I saw specifically?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it was like 6 to 7 feet tall.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, it was around 600 pounds, I would say.
All right.
Dunkelberg, thank you so much. Been dealing with the Rona for a few weeks now, and it's been whooping me up pretty good. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. I appreciate watching stuff from BFO and ST, being a musician, and I'm hoping I don't have lung damage once it's said and done. But then again, you all have helped a lot. Well, I hope you get better, and I hope you haven't got any damage after that. And that you get over it really, really quickly.
Yeah, I hope you get better, man.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was concentrating. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Lots of people in the chat are going to send out some prayers to you and well wishes. That is really coming together, isn't it, around the eyes?
Yeah, it is. Now, with the shadowing, can you make like the cheekbone structure like more sunken in?
Yeah.
Okay. Because originally I would have said like maybe like around the jaw, maybe that's too round, but looking at it as a whole, that's dead on. So I think with the shadowing, you can definitely make that happen. But yeah, at the very edge of the eyes is where the wrinkles were, kind of like where humans begin to develop. Yeah, right there. Yep. Oh, yeah. That's it.
Ramirez, he's a really great artist, but what is the model? Well, it's a Bigfoot that Miguel has seen. This is what drawing Bigfoot's all about. If you've had a face-to-face encounter and you've seen one close up, you can give us some great detail. Get in touch with us, because it's so good to see these things put on paper. For me, it's another way of documenting an encounter, and you don't just hear about what happened, but you can actually see what the person has actually seen. So I find it fascinating.
Yeah, I got myself in a trance there, just staring at this picture or this drawing.
It's mesmerizing, isn't it, watching it?
Yeah.
Just talking about the ones he's seen, the sizes and the weight. I've often said this. I think sometimes I don't know nothing. I don't go hunting. I'm not an expert. I'm not a hunter or anything. But I do sometimes feel maybe these things are, the weight is underestimated a lot. And they're a lot bigger than sometimes people say 300, 400, 500 pound. You think of the muscle on them and the size of them. You'd think maybe they would weigh more, but like I say, I'm not an expert. But Jeff, it makes sense what you say. It could be in excess of £1,000.
Yeah, I agree. There's an island off of Alaska. It's part of Alaska. I can't remember what it's called, but the elk there get way bigger than anywhere else. And then in turn, the grizzly bears get bigger. I don't know if they call them like brown bears when they get that big, but I suspect the Sasquatch there are huge.
Some of that has to do with their diet, because the animals up there eat a lot of salmon. Bears do, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Elk, of course, don't. But the bears eat elk, and because of the lush vegetation, they just get more food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, bigger game up there. They have bigger lungs, and I think that's because they got to run up mountains and stuff.
Yeah. All right, how are we doing with the cheeks?
Yeah, that's really good. The shadow, if it could, like from where you already got the upper cheekbone structure, if it could go from up to down, like a shadow up to down. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if Daniela can kind of show.
Sorry, I was just.
Oh no, you're fine.
Okay. Do you want to show?
So like right here, kind of like a shadow, like if it's sunken in.
Oh,
I'll explain it. Mm-hmm.
Bit of a contour on the old cheekbones there.
Mm-hmm. I think the Hulk kind of has like that shadow there. Maybe, I don't know. Or that definition. And that's...
Yeah, coming in more.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I tell people, this look primate, but I show photos that look similar to what I've seen to other people, and they say it looks human. So there is that difference. When people say it looked human, did it? Or does it look more human to you?
Yeah. That's it, isn't it? And you only need to look at one thing to make that decision, don't you? It could be their eyes or something in their mouth or the nose, or they're just too similar, aren't they?
Exactly. When I used to see documentaries of chimps or gorillas, I used to think, man, they're so human-like.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a baboon, so and they're.
Yeah, I bet that's awesome. What's that like? Should I ask?
Well, I don't know how to explain it. I know I had some friends that went over to Africa to trap some live animals for, I don't know, I forget who it was for, not important. But they'd use these huge nets, and they'd catch lions, water buffalo. But they said of all the animals that they had in the net, they said the baboons were by far, just held your breath. I mean, they were so powerful and so quick. And
yeah,
okay, how we doing now?
that's really good. The shadow that you drew on the left side, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, Daniela, if you could show me again.
Mm-hmm.
So you got it right there on this side. If it could kind of come down through there,
yeah,
the shadow as well.
Where was it?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
More of an angle.
No. I want, always speak up.
Is that better?
Yeah. And can you guys imagine if you saw this from the side profile, how you'd see like that?
That dent, like
Yeah, with the nose and kind of what I've been describing as far as Mike Tyson or the Hulk or the skull of a human.
Yeah. Jeff says, when the head is twice the size of yours on a 10-foot specimen, I thought it looked very human-like, but because of proportion being so scaled up, it's easy to misjudge features as compared to humans.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, like that. And I mean, it could go over to the left a little bit more. I guess I could have said that first.
That's all right.
Yeah, there it is.
No one, people can't see you, Miguel, because you're down like myself. It's just Larry on the screen, but I can actually see Miguel's face every now and again, just looking at it, and he's kind of putting his hands up to his head, going, "Oh, that is what I saw," you know.
Okay. So is that good, Miguel?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty well dead on.
Good. My favorite 2 words.
Mm.
All right. So the chin was pointed like we have here.
Yeah.
And I assume that was all covered with fur.
Mm-hmm. But the fur was really short fur. Wasn't very long, like a centimeter, maybe like an inch.
Okay.
But you said not around the eyes, or there was less around the eyes. Was it a bit like Patty? Did you say it was all around the eyes?
I mean, it was all around the eyes, but on the face, it was really short, like a buzzed haircut. That's how the hair on the head was and on the face. Yeah, all the ones I've seen here in Missouri don't have long and shaggy hair. Maybe more towards their forearm. It's a little bit longer and more tapered out, but they're more buzzed from what I've seen.
Right. That's interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And it's like the darkest black you've ever seen when I say jet black. It seems like the ones I saw are really clean, like they were using conditioner. I know that sounds weird, but if you had a jet black cat and, you know, it had like, I don't know, if you washed it up and with conditioner, that's what it looked like. It had that shine to it.
Yeah. Well, probably a healthy one with good oils, you know. And maybe some of them groom themselves. I mean, I don't know if they groom themselves. We often hear about them looking like they've been rolling in mud and got twigs and everything sticking out of them and they're stinking. But most animals groom themselves, don't they, to some degree?
Yeah.
So,
okay. I think we're ready to do some fur hair.
yeah.
And so this, okay. So the hair was on the upper lip, I assume.
There wasn't that much fur. I mean, it was still there. It was still there, but it was such a like lightish gray black color.
Okay.
That, I mean, you don't have to do too much shading for that.
All right. But okay, what about on the side of the face?
So yeah, you got jet black on the sides, like on the temples, and on the brow ridge and the top of the skull.
Oh, I think I'm all set.
The brow ridge is where it starts to taper off from like that gray to charcoal gray to darker to eventually jet black. It all just fades in. But the jet black, like on top of the head, shouldn't be like so defined that you have like a round face. You know, you can see like its face, like it all, like I said, it's all fur and it kind of comes together.
Mm-hmm.
This part of the program is like when you go to a concert and they have the drum solo.
Oh, wait, that bit.
Yeah, because you're drawing a hair or fur is like very time consuming. You can take forever. I'll try and do it quickly.
Well, don't, just do it.
Oh, I won't. No, believe me,
You need to do it. Why don't you tell us, Miguel, what's happening on your channel? What you're bringing out soon? You were saying you're working on a documentary.
Yeah. Right now I'm working on this new documentary, and I've placed like 11 trail cameras out there, all in strategic areas.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some really good stuff. David had some gifts from the Sasquatch, which we took a picture of. And I can tell you guys that now. It's a marble, which I didn't think too much of it when he told me. I thought, that's kind of weird. He was sitting there on his porch, and he got up, and there was a marble when he came back. So,
wow.
I ended up hearing about this guy in Canada. He has a documentary, and he talks about that. And this guy's just, I don't know, he's claiming that they're just falling from, from nowhere, or just appearing from, virtually nowhere. So, I guess it's tied in. And then we got some good orbs on the trail camera, which, I always thought it could be bugs or weird light anomaly. But these orbs are really defined, and you can see all the animals in the picture, the deer, the raccoons, they're all staring at it. One picture, they're all eating and doing their own thing. And the next, this orb shows up, and they're all looking at it directly. And it's not just one picture, we got multiple ones.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something very interesting, isn't there, about orbs?
There really is.
There was a guy I follow, Orbs Realm, and he seems to be attracting them. But you can see them spinning in the air, turning, going from left to right, deliberately moving, turning. It's not just a bit of dust, and they've got almost shape to them. Some are like ribbons.
Yeah, I got one of the ribbon.
Right. Okay.
Ribbon ones. Yeah, it's a strange thing.
Should this hair be a bit longer, or is that right?
No, that's right.
Okay, good.
It could. The lines could be a little shorter. It seems pretty short, but like I said, it was Buzz, so I don't know what he has to do that as far as shadowing. I'm sure it'll come together.
Michael San, hang on, copy. Where am I? Michael Sanard. Yes, I'm just going to put a link now in the description, in the chat, sorry, for Miguel's YouTube channel. This is a great idea. Richard Farabee, if you sell the calendar, then the proceeds can help with Larry with his animals. Not a bad idea, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a Sasquatch calendar together, Larry.
Yeah, I need to get more stuff to do.
Yeah. Keep you busy.
That is a good idea.
I want to show this on my channel if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Just a short clip. Mention it and mention Larry.
Yeah, absolutely. Passionate Fruit says, did this Sasquatch have a philtrum? That little bit that's between the, the nose and the lip. Was there any sort of line there? Was it smooth?
That's a good question. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, no, it did. Now that I think about it, like the two lines that kind of come down.
You know, a lot of these are quite smooth. Sorry, but I was just thinking back to some of the ones we think. Maybe it's not something we've asked about, but you did see something, did you? A little bit.
Just a little bit. It wasn't very defined. I mean, the way he's got it now is pretty dead on. Just some shadowing for the part that he's talking about. Would throw it in a little bit better.
There we go. So if anyone's got any more questions, just stick them up in caps. And if you want to ask anybody anything, put it up in capital letters for us.
I saw a guy called Jason Zorn in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him are supposed to be doing a story soon.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's why I was asking you about the StreamYard earlier. We tried setting up the Skype, but it wasn't working out on his phone. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Is it an encounter?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From, I believe, Arkansas, which is still the Ozarks from Missouri runs into Arkansas.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be hooking up with our Connor, Bigfoot and on?
Yeah.
He's you're in Florida, aren't you, Connor? I think he's going to subscribe anyway. I'll go and check your channel out for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with him.
Linda saw this on his property in Missouri. You'll have to go back to the beginning, I'm afraid, to get the full details, but it'll be worth it. Hi, Dorothy. They're coming along really well with it. I can't say anything more, but they're definitely getting on with it. It's progressing. And, yeah, just watch this space. I don't think there'll be long to wait. But don't hold me to any dates or anything. How's that looking now? Is that?
It's looking good. How hard is it to draw in the jet black fur, Larry?
Impossible because I don't have. This is charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tweak it. I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
That's the final process.
Yeah. So that's the main thing, is drawing the hair and kind of the way they would taper on the actual animal. I guess the way the hairs would be flowing or the direction they're going.
There's something interesting about the hair on these heads, how they are so neat, some of them, aren't they? They're so, the way they end and start is like very precise.
Yeah.
I guess gorillas are like that too, aren't they, on some of them?
Mm-hmm.
So Dan Fowler, she asks, Miguel, do you hear any vocals or many vocals?
Yeah, I've heard screams, I've heard whoops, and just different things like the whistles and them mimicking owls.
Mm. Have you had any sort of language, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, from animal sounds to, I haven't experienced it, but other people have explained it in actual language, to like a Morse code when it comes to the knocking.
Yeah. Knocking and clicks, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Morse code.
Yep.
Vicky Conway asks, how many have you seen? You've had a few sightings, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, if I tell people, they're going to think I'm nuts, but it don't matter. Yeah, I've seen, when I went on the show, I'd seen 2 face-to-face, which was actually 3 because I'd seen one before that, and I didn't realize it till I actually saw him. I didn't know that was Bigfoot. You know, I thought it was like a hog that slowly moved behind a tree. But yeah, after I told the stories, I had an experience where there was these crazy vocalizations going on, and it was around 11 at night, and I was shining my spotlight, and I had my camcorder in the other hand on night vision mode. Well, as bright as the light was shining in the yard into the woods, nothing was picking up on camera, just the audio. And I don't know, I thought it was deer because I could see all these eyes, and they're really low to the ground, and they're kind of bobbing up and down, kind of like what deer would do. And I was shining my spotlight into it, but the spotlight would only penetrate to the, I don't know, to the beginning part of the woods. It wouldn't penetrate inside the woods, so I could only see like eye shine. Well, all of a sudden, one of the eyes goes up to about 8 feet. And I mean, it went up like an elevator. And then all of a sudden, to my right, on the other side of the yard and in the woods, I could hear something walking, and it's stomping, and it sounds bipedal. So I shine my light over there immediately, and in this gap, I see one walk across the gap, and it looked just like the one on Arkansas Bigfoot. He has this picture of a gray one. I think he calls it like Sabay. I don't know. I don't watch it too much anymore. But it looked dead on exactly like that one.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, they come around every now and then, and it sounds like I have a lot of activity, but people have to understand this is months apart, even like years apart. You know, sometimes things don't happen for a really long time, and I just give up, you know, lose interest, and then when you least expect it, it happens again.
Yeah, you're just in that area, aren't you? Where you seem to be in a hot spot, and like you say, over time as well, you've seen them.
Okay, the hair on the face, Miguel.
Okay, so on the sides, that's a bit too long. It should be more buzzed, just real short.
Just on the side.
Just on that left side. I mean, the right side could be a little shorter too, on the hair length. And does that make sense to you? Like, you know, like a buzzed haircut, like when you run it through your hand through your hair, it's like really prickly feeling. Yeah, just like that.
Linda asks here, did they ever seem violent? But they can't do to you, can they? Because you keep going out there.
Yeah, there was this one time I was bow hunting, and I hunted right there where I seen this thing. It was deer season, and no, that time was different. I had a tree pushed down. This other time I was walking up the driveway, and to my left I heard what sounded like a lamb, and I thought it was a fawn deer. And then to my right, again, exactly like Carrie described in his description, it was like that sick old man sound, like demonic. It was like that. So I just went back inside, but I never really had anything like that happen again. I just figured that same one I saw, because that noise came exactly where I saw the one that we're drawing up right now. That exact same spot, that's where it came from. So I just walked back and went back to my house.
I bet that sound must have creeped you out a little bit, though.
It did. It really did.
Hi, Mike. Mike Stettin says, have you ever experienced infrasound?
I have not. I have not experienced like infrasound, rock throwing, what people...
You never felt nauseous or lost time or
no
mind speak?
No mind speak.
Like that?
Now, I do get like this bad feeling, but it's normally when I'm going into a new area, and these places are pretty deep. They're pretty far out there, so I get that feeling, but that's pretty normal. I get that feeling when I go deer hunting or just being alone out in the forest.
What do you think that is, though? Your gut telling you something, your instinct saying there's something about? Do you back out, or do you stay where you are, or what?
No, I normally go, but you know, I don't have signal in most of those places, so if my GPS wasn't working and I did get lost, it'd be a long walk home.
That better?
Yeah.
All the way down?
No. And I guess, see like the line from the face, the outline of the face?
Yeah.
It's kind of angled in to where it should be more flush with the hair. The way you got the hair going.
Mm-hmm.
So you could really see like the head shape of this animal just because like the fur was so short.
Okay, so this is fun.
Yeah. Just the line from like the cheek, if it could like match.
Right there.
Yeah. Just match up where the fur is going more proportionally.
You often hear about people having the bad feeling, kind of like stop, don't go any further. Whether that's something being transmitted or just your people's natural alert system.
No, I've had that happen like in everyday life situations, you know, where I shouldn't have been somewhere and I didn't go and something bad happened. Like that has happened.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, just like that. The way you did the left side. There you go. That's really good.
It's incredible, Larry. Those eyes really are looking at you, aren't they?
Yeah. Wait till we tweak it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The hair on the chin, short.
Yeah, extremely short. There's still hair there, but just
But
very,
cover
very
the
short.
entire chin.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, T-543. Appreciate that.
Yeah, the hair's so short there that it looks like the way you were drawing the shadows, like around the eyes and stuff. on the high cheekbones.
Okay.
Linda Fish asked, did this one have the broad shoulders and no neck?
Yeah, it basically had no neck, and it had the broad shoulders, kind of like a football player. He wasn't freakish, like super huge, like how you hear some people say they're just extremely ripped. I mean, he was ripped and he was big, but it wasn't how some people say.
How far wide do you think his shoulders were?
Like 3.5 feet.
Wow. It's so hard to imagine, isn't it? But I've never seen one.
It really is hard to imagine. Like, I remember before I saw Sasquatch, like the only image I could get was like a cartoony, I don't know, image or photo in my mind. But until you see one, it's like seeing a gorilla in the zoo, or just, I don't know, the same way you would see a person.
I think I just look at my doorways in the house, you know, which is just over 6 foot, and I think it probably wouldn't fit through that. That's the kind of only way I can scale it, you know, to have an idea of how big this thing could, you know, can get.
Yeah.
Let's see if I've missed any questions or. It is coming along very nicely. Lee Lumber. Yeah, Jason, we look forward to it as well. So you'll have to let us know when that's when that interview comes out. Are you meeting up? Or you oh no, you just StreamYarding, aren't you?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Just saying, your friend Jason, the guy you're going to speak to, you're doing it through StreamYard, aren't you? You're not doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it through StreamYard.
Yeah. You're right, Gene. Duck and turn sideways. I'm sure they'll get in. No, I think you did say you were gifted something back, weren't you? You were left something.
Yeah. This one time I was looking for edible mushrooms on the driveway road, and I found a particular mushroom, and I wasn't sure if it was the right one, just because you have to really pay attention to certain features as far as the gills, the color, and the way the veins look. And I really wasn't sure, so I thought, yeah, I'd better go back to the house. So I set it right there in the center of the gravel road, the driveway road, and I found it just right off the road in the woods. So I ran back to the house and got my Missouri Conservation Mushroom book out, flipped through the pages. I found it, and it wasn't a good one, I don't think. I can't remember. And it was a poisonous one. So I went back up, mind you, this was only 5 minutes. Get back to that exact spot. The mushroom's gone, and there's a set of keys there. And, I mean, there's a lot of keys in the bundle or on the keychain. And nobody turned around in the driveway. I was only gone for 5 minutes, and the tag on the keychain was from Oklahoma, which kind of freaked me out.
Wow. How far is that from you? It's quite a trek, isn't it? Quite a few hours.
Yeah, it's a few hours.
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. To think they stole like keys from somebody at an RV park in Oklahoma and held on to it that long and gave it to me, I don't know. That's hard to believe, but
you just don't know what's lost and what's picked up.
Yeah. Or when someone's outside and they completely lose something, you never know if they snatched it from you.
That's a possibility, isn't it? The Danny is asking, Miguel, do you have nightmares because of these encounters?
No, I've never really had any dreams about them. Maybe like once or twice. But I've experienced like paranormal stuff in the past, and that really messed with me. I mean, probably about 10 years, you know. So when I experienced the Bigfoot stuff, it wasn't too bad on me.
Mm.
I was already conditioned to the unknown, I guess.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You seem to be desensitized compared to most people who've seen Sasquatch. But I guess depends just what you've dealt with in your life and how you see things. Sometimes people are just not shocked by anything because of things they've experienced. So we're all different, aren't we?
Yeah, I agree completely.
PJ Arkansas says, was the body hair short as well?
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember like on the shoulder blades where it had the widest stripes going down. The hair was a little thicker there, and then like on the elbows and forearm, but still wasn't too long.
Have I just missed some?
Okay, Miguel, what do you think?
Yeah, that's really good.
Was there any, was this on the upper lip too?
No. I mean, the way I look at the way you drew the face is the shadows are kind of hair, and I mean that's really close. I mean, maybe what I saw was skin from the distance, but to me it seemed like it had the hair all around it.
On its face. Too? Okay. How far would you say that? Do you think?
Well, no. What I'm saying is how you have it. That's pretty dead on.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
No more hair.
No.
Can't imagine seeing that. So do you think he was put out that you'd seen him, or was he trying to scare you off with his look?
No, I think he was pretty shocked.
Mm-hmm.
He was just as shocked to see me as I was to see him.
But this one didn't make any noise, did it? Didn't growl or anything like that?
No, he made no noise until at that point, once he walked off and disappeared into the brush, I got back into the driveway, into the yard, and ran across the yard and got into the woods into the direction that he was going. And when I stepped over the fence, I stood there to see if I could hear anything. And then a few seconds later, it sounded like kind of like a horse or like a bear breathing. Like the breath of it, the way, I don't know, it was breathing, it just sounded like a really large animal.
Mm-hmm. Big set of lungs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big set of lungs. But yeah, he wasn't happy that I tried to pursue him. It was just angry. I mean, the sound of it was just like like a bull, that's getting ready to charge at you. Yeah. That's what it sounded like. So I just took another step back across the fence into the yard and went back into the house because I wasn't sure. I knew what I saw, but in my mind, I was just like, did I really just see that? I know I did, but I need something more.
Yeah. I guess that's the feeling a lot of people have, and especially those that have just had one glimpse of something that they just know isn't a bear or just something normal, but they just can't quite understand. It must be very frustrating.
So what do you think, Miguel?
That's excellent. That's it.
Okay, we're going to tweak him. Hold on.
Okay. We'll let Larry do his tweaking. There was a question here about your paranormal. Vicky Conway asks, what kind of paranormal experiences have you had?
Well, they're really hard to explain, but I mean, pretty much it was like the strangest synchronicity. And basically, somebody told me about a video that was out there, and it was something about Russia and the sounds of hell. Long story short, I didn't believe them. 3 days later, I'm sitting in my house and I look up this story. I type it up on Google or on YouTube, excuse me, and I click enter, click on the first video, and it comes up, and it's what this person was talking about. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm sitting there playing guitar in the room, and all of a sudden this voice comes through my amp, and it's talking, and it's the guy that's talking. He said he was a preacher, and he used to be a sinner, and now he's in hell. And I don't know, he kept going on. He was Catholic, and all these bad things he did in his life. So I look up, no, this is when I look up the sounds of hell in the video. Well, the same guy that comes up on YouTube is the same guy that's talking through the amp. And yeah, it all just like kind of came together, and it freaked me out. The strangest synchronicity.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And then I started hearing like voices in the house and banging and babies crying. There was no babies. You know, I don't have a kid. It's dead of winter. You know, I'm literally in the house, like my head is like on the floor. My friends are with me. You know, I've had people experience this. We just don't know where it was coming from.
Have you ever like done a Ouija board or opened up like a portal somewhere, or brought some sort of energy into your life or your space or whatever to?
I noticed that the activity picked up when I started getting into the paranormal and watching these shows and just spending all my time doing that. I don't know. It seems like giving it attention made it happen more. And I've asked other people that have had experiences, and they don't agree with me on that. They say nothing happens with them when they watch it. So maybe it's just me.
Well, I mean, that's how it happens to some people, isn't it? It seems to be the more you experience these things, the more you're attracted, or you're a magnet to it in some ways. Maybe we kind of, you know, need to be the part of the link for it to happen. And so some people are more tuned in, maybe. I don't know if it's a frequency thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah. Even with like the Bigfoots, people feel that they cling to certain people or only trust certain people. That's why they're only on certain properties or certain areas, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't it more though that, I mean, they can hide, can't they? It seems like they choose to show themselves to people. And so, you know, what is that? Why are they selecting people? Or is it because maybe they just get caught out sometimes and just have to deal with it? We don't know, do we? So many questions.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's because they're kind to animals, but then you got a cop that has a gun on him and he sees a Bigfoot. You know, I don't know. There's people that are hunting that are getting activity or sightings, and they got a rifle, so it's hard to say.
Definitely. If they've got young about, you don't know. If there's food about, you just don't know why they show themselves. And yeah, it could be people's energy, what they're giving off, maybe. I don't know. It's a very intriguing subject. And I wish we could join the dots sometimes. But sharing information is the key, really.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll have enough. Maybe we'll have enough information to start joining dots and trying to make sense of. And maybe there's nothing to it. Maybe it's just pot luck that you bump into these things, and there is no science to it. They're just elusive, but now and again, they're out there and they're seen. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all pretty random.
Yeah, could just be that. How are you getting on, Larry?
I'm getting right along.
Oh, good. That's true, Vicky. Some people are more intuitive and can pick up energy. I think that don't go any further energy is one of those things where you can just sense there's something, as another presence or something that's giving you those messages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure lots of that's how animals work, isn't it? On that instinct.
Yeah, animals know how to feel humans. They're like dogs do, and they can really tell if you're in a good mood or bad mood.
But hearing as well, heartbeat, what energy you give off, what other animals give off. I'm sure animals can hear animals before they see them, even if they're just stood there or just laid there, or vibrations. And who knows what we give off when we're nervous or when we're, watching our backs.
Yeah.
It's just no idea to measure what we do. Were there no visible, Highlandwood, was there no visible ears on the creature?
No. Not at all.
Has anyone seen the ears? I'm just going to go back over the old images, and nobody's seen ears. None of those.
Come to think of it, I've never heard of anybody saying they've seen ears on a Bigfoot. The dog man, but I don't know. There's still that question: is a dog man actually a Bigfoot? Just a different type. So
I've never heard of anyone actually seeing the foot of a Bigfoot. I know we see the tracks, but no one's ever saw an actual foot. It's just, I find it funny. Strangeland, I think he said it was about 8 foot.
It was almost 7 foot tall.
7 foot.
Yeah, right about there.
Linda Fish.
Okay, you have it, Danny.
Oh, I'll have a look in a second. Yeah. Do you think hunters experience them more because they are out there more, or is it because they hunt? More chance than hikers, I guess. But they're not just in the woods, are they? I mean, they do come up to people's properties. So, and let me just get this. Okay. Are you going to pull your camera back up, Larry?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Just thought you might want to.
Is that the drawing that he made? No, that's me.
That's me on there. Right. So we've got it here. Are we ready for it then, Miguel? The finished piece.
Oh, wow.
Is that him?
Oh, yeah.
He does look like the Hulk, doesn't he? When I'm looking at it now.
He doesn't look as angry in this one, but that's definitely it. That's how the creature looked.
Done it again, Larry.
Damn.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Just seeing the differences in them.
Yeah. I'm at a loss for words, honestly. You did a great job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We did it in 2 hours too.
Okay.
Not too bad.
It's not too bad. Yeah.
Not too bad. We've done them a bit quicker, haven't we? Some of them, but sometimes it's just getting that fine detail, like it was with the cheekbones and We've had another one. I can't remember what it was, but we just couldn't quite get something right. But we got there in the end, and I'm glad you're so patient, Larry. But I know you want to get it right as well, don't you? You like to
Absolutely.
You want it to be spot on as much as you can.
Yeah. When I see that, my mind goes blank. Every time I was looking at that photo, I didn't know what to think. And that's kind of how it was when I had my encounter. Like, my entire thought process was just wiped. And I mean, it's just like my brain restarted.
Well, you can't process what you're looking at. You know, it's such a surprise. Yeah. I remember the first rattlesnake I caught in the wild. I saw it, and he didn't make a sound. But after I caught him, the rest of the day, every step I took, I looked completely around me. So cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost tripped over that one. How many more out here am I going to trip on? And then maybe get bit. So.
But did you feel like they were everywhere after that? After you saw it, all of a sudden they were everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the same feeling.
Yeah. Well, that's why it ruins. Sometimes these sightings ruin it for people that want to spend their time outdoors. Because of that, they think, God, how many are there of these out there? Where am I going to run into another one? You know, realizing that's probably the only time it's going to happen in their life. Because most people, one sighting, second and a half, 2 seconds, 3, it's done. It's over.
I mean, I think that's how I would feel. Is once I saw something like that, you'd just be looking all the time, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be able to help
yourself. Especially in your backyard.
Yeah, I mean, that's even worse, isn't it?
Well, I've got them here in our backyard too. So it's like, we had one intimidate 5 tigers one night. So,
wow.
Yeah, they were all looking in the woods, but they weren't too keen on it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Thank you, Larry.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Larry. I really appreciate that.
And thank you, Miguel, for coming on and taking us through that and giving us the detail that you did. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been great. So, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed that. Please leave a comment and let us know what you think. If you'd like us to do another Drawing Bigfoot on Bigfoot Odyssey, well, we are going to do another one, but let us know what you think. Leave us a comment. And Larry, I look forward to the next time we do this.
This show is really good, except you got that Larry guy involved with it. That screws up the whole thing.
You know,
I mean, what the hell were you thinking?
You can't have everything, unfortunately.
Jesus Christ.
It'll work out.
Look at the damn thing all night. Jesus. Oh my God.
Right. Thank you. We get to see the sketch as well, don't we? So it's a good balance. It's a good balance, Larry. Yeah. Miguel, thank you. Everyone go and check out Sasquatch Theory. I'm going to
Someone wants to look at it again.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
1 second. I'll stick it up while I get the link. There you go. This is the link for Miguel's channel, Sasquatch Theory. I'm sure most of you have heard about it and looked at his documentaries. They are great. I just put that up. It looks like Kerry's in, but it's not. I've just put that in as Bigfoot under Bigfoot Odyssey. But once again, thank you, Larry, Miguel. It's been great. Everyone, will see you tomorrow night on the Researchers Report, or it could be Wednesday Encounters. I'm not sure yet. Either way, we'll be here. Thanks for the questions and of course the moderators for doing a great job tonight, and everybody who donated, sent a little bit of money. We really appreciate that. Everyone have a good night, and we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.